Hi everybody. I want to go over the list of common errors here with you before you submit your first essay. This is something you should really do before you submit any essay. In fact, I cannot stress enough how important it is. But I'm going to highlight some things here that will absolutely improve your grade if you pay attention to them. So this list is in one of your early modules, the list of top 20 errors. It's just something I've compiled after reading 30,000 essays over my life. And these things are very, very important to me. And they are things that do with writing and also things that do with style. Now, I won't go over the entire list with you right now, but I am going to highlight a few of them that I really want you to focus on for the first essay. I'm going to start with number 2, which is do not use the word YOU or any variant of it. That means no you, no your, no you are, etc. Right? Now, technically speaking, you can use a question at the hook position. In other words, the very first sentence of your overall essay. Have you ever imagined? And I can let that one go. It's a really weak way to start an essay, but it works. But after that, no, never, ever, ever should you use the word you. Now, there are reasons for that. When you're arguing and when you're explaining, you're always going to stay in the third person, right? Distant third person. And just really pay attention to it. Using you is going to cause lots of problems, and I don't even need to go into them. Just trust me on it. Now also, I'm going to just go down the list a little bit with number 3 here. Do not announce or refer to your process. What that means is don't tell the reader what you're going to do. If you say, for instance, this essay will cover, or in this paragraph I will discuss, you are announcing your purpose rather than just writing it out. Students will often say things like, we will discuss, and that's actually 2 errors in one. You can't use we, all right? It's a plural, and it changes your voice. You're staying in the third person singular, don't move to the first person plural, and then don't announce. Just give it in the third person, all right? Now, in the same way, students ask all the time, can I use I? For the most part, the answer is absolutely not, all right? If you use I in an argument especially, it has to be something that is relevant to the reader's understanding, where you have expertise on something that you can add. So if you are going to write an essay about COVID, you better be a nurse in a hospital if you're going to use I to talk about your personal experience. Other than that, do not do it. It is bad for you. Again, third person is the key. Don't switch from I, first person singular, to we, first person plural, to you, second person singular or plural. Just don't do it. Stay third person the whole time. That being said, again, I can be used in the instance where you have expertise in subject matter knowledge that you want to add. All right. Now, number 4 says, do not write I believe, I feel, or I think. You shouldn't use I anyway, right? But, okay, these are really bad because they're redundant. What I mean by that is, in an argument, the reader assumes it's your argument, and therefore, if it's your argument, you don't need to say I think, I feel, or I believe, because it's your argument. So you just said I believe, I believe, I believe 3 times basically. Get rid of it. Absolutely drop the I believe, I feel, I think, etc. It is a placeholder. It serves you no purpose in argument except to weaken the language and the rhetoric. Okay, I'm going to skip down a little bit and highlight a couple of things that I think are very, very important here. Go down to number 8. Remember, this is your first foray into argument, and you have to be able to understand it's a lot different than 101. Argument is a lot different than exposition. Explanatory writing that you did in 101 doesn't apply here. So a lot of times students, when they read my assignments and they read the instructions, they think that they're going to handle it like a 101 essay. So if I say, for instance, I want you to write an argument, number 1, on which news source covered this topic the best, I do not care what the topic is. You don't need to even explain any background on the topic necessarily. The point is to evaluate and personalize your critique of the media. It has nothing to do with the topic. So you can be writing about COVID-19, but the essay is not about COVID-19. It's about what news source gave the best coverage of it. Now, you might think the coverage was best because it was more scientific. You might believe the coverage was best because it was more local. You might believe the coverage was best because they had testimonies from people who had survived it or family members who had lost people. You like those emotional things, but it has nothing to do with the topic itself. The argument is personal. You're going to say which source was best because you believe it to be best for reasons you create. So do not tell me what the topic is. Do not talk about the topic except to just let the reader know, hey, these sources covered COVID-19 during 2020 and 2021, and out of all these sources, this one did it best. All right, one or two more here. I'll also mention number 9 and 10. Number 9, this is really important to me. It's just one of those little things that I'm a stickler for. It's a pet peeve, if you will. I'm going to highlight this. Remember that periods and commas go inside quote marks. Always, 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 always. And what I've done here is I've shown you the inside part, right? Do not put them outside. This is a grammatical rule in American Standard English. Okay? Now, if you have a citation, you will put quote, parentheses, page number, in parentheses, and period. So it's not the same thing. When these two stand alone, the comma and the period always, always, in every circumstance will go inside the quote mark, and that's very important to me. All right, and finally, we're going to skip down just a little bit more here. Number 11 will be the last one I'll discuss with you. Do not add spaces between paragraphs, okay? Sometimes students have gaps between paragraphs that look triple or quadruple spaced. Remember that in MLA form, everything is double spaced. So even in the heading on the first page on the left-hand side, where your name, the date, etc. go, those are double spaced. The gap between the heading and the title is double spaced. Between the title and the body is double spaced. And everything else is double spaced. Do not add any extra spaces. Okay? You don't need 4 spaces before your title or 4 spaces after your title or 3 spaces in the heading. It's all double spaced. So technically speaking, and this is true, you can write your entire essay from beginning, first typed word to the last period, single space it, cover it all, click all, and then click double space, and it's fixed. Right? That's the way it should look to me. And in a next screencast, I'll go over how students can do that more, or do it incorrectly, and I want to show you how you can improve your grade by doing it correctly. All right, for now, I'll sign off on this list of common errors. I want you to go through all 20 of them before you submit your first essay. And if you're starting your essay late and you don't have a chance to go through it, you're honestly better off rewriting because you will end up rewriting it anyway. All right, make sure you got this list at heart. Make it a checklist as you proof your draft before you submit your final copy. And good luck with it. I look forward to reading it.